how's it going? It's Sam Frost here, back with some more digital marketing advice. Now in today's short video, I want to talk about a few steps that you can take if you are looking at running display advertising, particularly Google display ad campaigns, and how you can kind of protect yourself from some of the issues that are present with display ads. So in another video, I've spoken about sort of why display ad traffic can often interact a lot worse and have a lot of sort of low quality throughput. I'll leave a link to that video in the description of this video, and I suggest you go and watch that. But basically, if you're wanting to run display ads and you think that there's a case for doing so for your business, what steps can you take to protect yourself? There's a few things that I think you must do, and I'm talking primarily here about running Google display ads. Obviously, if you're using other platforms to buy your display ad inventory, these exact same steps might not apply, but the principles are pretty similar too. The first thing you should look to do with Google display ad targeting to sort of protect yourself from the darker side of display ads and lower quality traffic is really think about the targeting that you're actually going to be doing. So Google by default is going to push you down a fairly broad targeting path. They'll say, you know, pick a general interest out of our list of predefined interests, or give us a couple of topics or general keywords that you think would be relevant. And you can go down that path, but what you'll tend to find is that Google takes liberty and goes very, very broad with that targeting based off those criteria you apply. And that benefits Google ultimately, and to be honest, a lot of advertisers are content with that because they feel like they're getting some value for money. You get lower CPMs, you get lower CPCs, tons of traffic, and so it can be quite a nice sort of feel-good story, if that makes sense, especially if you're using display ad traffic to kind of boost up your general performance. I've sat in numerous marketing meetings, looked at lots of digital reports where people have said, hey, we're doing so well because look at all this traffic we're getting and it's not very good quality, and you go and look at why, and it's because the targeting is just not great. You'll probably want to look more at how you can do specific and precise targeting. So it might be looking at, say, individual placements, actual individual websites or groups of websites where you want to take out ads, and it might be that you have to deal with a much lower volume of potential impressions and clicks, but the traffic quality is a lot higher. So actually vet those placements rather than just letting the algorithm match placements based off keyword matching, for example, where you'll often get a lot lower quality placements come through. If you're going to do in-market audience targeting using Google's predefined audiences, you might want to combine that with other targeting methodologies. So take an in-market audience and then only target people who are in that specific audience, or say a lookalike audience would be another option, but who are also browsing websites on topics that are actually relevant and of interest. So if you've got an in-market audience of people who are looking for a new car, for example, and I can't remember from the top of my head if that's actually a Google predefined one or not, but let's just say that you've got an audience of car shoppers. Maybe you want to restrict your ads and display to only run on websites that are about cars as well, so that if someone is browsing a game site or a news site, their mindset is not necessarily where it's at to actually be, thinking about buying a new car because they're just checking at the news. But if they're going and looking at car websites to do research, that might be a good time to hit them, because not only are they in market, they're actually actively looking at cars at that point in time. So consider your targeting, look at different ways you could make your targeting more precise. Don't take the sort of lazy or easy option of going too broad, because that's where a lot of the problems begin. Now, the next issue you tend to find with display advertising, and this is very common on Google's network, is the placement side of things once your ads are up and running. So first thing you will want to do typically with Google display network ads is go and actually switch off mobile app ad placement. So mobile app ads, I've spoken about it numerous times on this channel. Generally they're rubbish, because what happens is people, fat finger in an app and click on an ad by mistake, or they give their iPad to their kids, and Google's happy to show ads in, Candy Crush or whatever it is, because they think your device is interested, but actually it's just the kids playing games and they're clicking on your ads. All sorts of reasons why mobile app ad traffic is generally rubbish. So you want to go and download the Google Ads editor, because this is the easiest way to do it. I'll leave a link in the video description to a tutorial that shows you how to do this. But with the Google Ads editor, at the moment at least, you can disable at a blanket level mobile app ad placements from running, so that you are going to improve the quality of your advertising, because you're not going to show your ads in these mobile app placements. And if this isn't done, oftentimes I'll go in and review campaigns that are running. First thing I'll do is go and look at the placement report, and lo and behold, you'll typically find a whole lot of money is being spent on mobile app ads that are generating no conversions, and generating a sort of outsized number of impressions and clicks at a higher than average click-through rate, bearing in mind that genuine display ad click-through rates are typically quite low. And it looks great when it's all amalgamated into the campaign level or ad group level report, but it's when you dig out and break out the numbers that it looks really, really bad because you've just got this junk traffic basically. So make sure that you block mobile app ad placements, whether you're just starting your campaign or whether you've already got one up and running, and then go and do more detailed placement analysis. So another great place to start to sort of keep your display ad campaigns safe would be to look to block known low quality display ad placements. So not mobile placements, that's already done by the ads editor, but look at something like PPC Protect's ever expanding and growing list of junk display ad placements. I'll leave a link in the video description. PPC Protect, this is not a plug for the software per se, but just a plug for this amazing resource they provide, and there are a few other ones as well that do the same thing, of a updated list of websites that are basically known to exist only to try and generate low quality junk clicks for ad revenue. And your ads can wind up showing on those types of websites and getting clicks that look genuine but are basically fake, and they cost you money, and the traffic's never going to turn into any potential customers, any leads. And so by going in and applying a placement exclusion list, and I think their list is up to about 60,000 known websites at the moment and counting, what you're actually going to be able to do is prevent some of those lower quality placements from coming through. And even once you've done that, once you've blocked the mobile app ad placements, once you've applied a sort of blanket junk placement list, you're still going to want to go through on a regular basis reviewing your placements, much like you'd review search terms with a search campaign in Google Ads, and go and check the top placements you're getting. Click through them. Do these look like real, genuine sites where I think that my customers might go and visit? Or is Google, kind of selling me short here and showing my ads on websites that don't look like they're very well aligned, or have that look and feel of a site that isn't there to be genuine but is just there to generate ad revenue, and block placements accordingly. So if you get your targeting better and you do that sort of placement analysis and blocking, that's two things you can do to really improve the quality of your display ad campaigns. And the final thing I want to recommend is really watch the traffic quality like a hawk, especially if you're doing things like lead generation. So ad fraud and kind of junk clicks and so on are getting more sophisticated over time, as these things have a tendency to do. And one thing I've noticed on a few campaigns now is that the client's saying, hey, we're getting really good lead volume off these display ad campaigns, why would we change anything? And it's not until you go and look at the leads that are coming through and actually try and contact these people or do a bit of analysis, and you think, hey, yeah, there's email addresses coming into your CRM here that are signing up for a free ebook or something, but none of them are reachable. And it turns out that actually they're basically junk leads that are coming through, low quality leads, or sometimes just people who didn't really know what they were getting in for because they've clicked on a banner ad either by mistake or out of a sort of passing glance. And so even if you've got your targeting dialed in, even if you've got your placements dialed in, and even if you've got your creative dialed in, and that's something I haven't touched on so much in this video because that's very dependent on what you're trying to achieve, but obviously you want good creative too. But moving on to the sort of performance assessment piece, don't just rely on the top level data. Make sure you actually look at your display advertising and say, is this generating leads? If it's generating leads, are they genuine, good quality leads? Are they converting? Is this generating sales? And if it's not doing anything sort of top end, right, so you're getting clicks and impressions, they're coming to the website, they're not necessarily converting straight away, can you go and look at your multi-channel reporting in Google Analytics, for example, to see if there's a positive outcome or benefit from this display ad traffic further along the funnel? So you might have people who are actually seeing your ads, clicking, coming to the site, leaving, then coming back via, say, a direct visit or a search at a later date. And maybe that traffic wouldn't have come back if they'd never seen your display ad in the first place. And so even if you're not getting immediate conversions, there is an influencing factor. But if you're not seeing any genuine evidence of this and the leads don't look good quality, or you're not getting enough of them, or the sales aren't coming through, I would strongly recommend looking at whether display advertising is actually right for you. Even though you're going to have less traffic come to your site, fewer impressions and so on, it might just be that it's not the right fit and you're not going to be able to get the performance you need, and you might be better to look investing elsewhere, like in doing more search advertising, or even looking at things like producing more content so you can kind of grow organically over time. So yeah, those are a few steps. Just to recap them, make sure you've got your targeting dialed in, make sure that you're reviewing placements regularly and blocking bad ones and being pretty ruthless about doing this. And third, and perhaps most importantly, make sure you actually assess the throughput of the traffic you're getting, whether that's leads or sales. Are you getting bona fide, genuine inquiry, or are you getting potentially fake leads that I'm seeing this more and more happening, that aren't being checked necessarily because they're going into like an automated HubSpot or ActiveCampaign workflow after downloading an ebook, and they pad out your list size, but they're not actually turning into any business down the track. Do some pretty ruthless assessment and analysis there as well and act accordingly. If you've got any questions on this, please do let me know. Always happy to answer any questions. You can leave a comment, you can email me on info@samfrost.co.nz. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.